Good evening. In the next episode, OPOstories from the NBA. My today guest is Jodie Meeks. Hello, Jodie. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining my podcast. First question is not about the NBA, but still basketball. I'm really curious because you're now playing in the Ice Cube BIG3 league in the Ball Hogs team. So after 6 games, you've got 1-5, and last game was amazing: 29 points, 5 3-point shots, 1 4-point shot. Was it your best performance in that BIG3 league?
Yeah, you know what? I finally got a chance to, get the ball in my spots. My teammates looking for me. Unfortunately, we didn't get the win. We, got down pretty big. I think we were down 19, so it's hard to come back, but we came back and tied it. And, just couldn't get over the hump. We made a late mistake not switching out. And Mario Chalmers hit a 3. But I was proud of our guys for fighting back, not giving up. And we almost won.
Mm-hmm. And in the NBA, as well as in the BIG3 league, you are showing your sharp 3-point long distance shooting, because last season you were second with 15 3-point shots, and were second. First was Iso Joe with 16. Now you are third with the 12 3-point shots, and also third with 2 4-point shots. So still you are in the really good shape.
Yeah, man, trying. That's kind of my calling card is shooting. I wish our team would have had a little bit better record. We didn't get invited back this coming weekend because we weren't in playoff contention. But, sometimes that's how it goes. I missed the game. Barbosa missed, I think, the first game, and then he ended up getting injured. So it wasn't meant to be for us this year. So I just try to give my best effort to try to get us some wins. Didn't work out that way, but, it's always next year.
Mm-hmm. And what do you do to be in this very good shape from the 3-point and 4-point line? How many shots you have to do every day?
Man, that's years and years of shooting. I'll probably try to make at least 500 shots a day. Right now, I'm taking a little break since we're not playing. But when I'm training, at least 500 makes. A lot of people like to do shots, but I like to do makes just to set a goal. And, you get your endurance up shooting-wise, and then endurance-wise, go to the track, maybe do some suicides on the court. But all my shooting is moving. I'll say 90% of it is moving, and then the other 10% is standstill. But I like to get that simulation of games to where you're moving, or somebody might be chasing you or closing out to you. So you have to simulate that to game shape.
Mm-hmm. It's your second season in the BIG3 league. You appear first in the 2021, and what did surprise you? What did surprise you? Is it some kind of street ball game, because it's 3-on-3? But is it the street ball shape, or is it less physical and tough game?
Yeah, it's actually more physical than I thought. It's more space to cover because it's only 3 people out there, so it's not a lot of help side defense. So you really have to lock into your one-on-one matchups. When you're playing 5-on-5, it's help side, and if you have a weaker defender, so to speak, you can kind of hide because your other teammates can help you. But in 3-on-3, you really can't hide. So if you can't defend, that's a liability out there. So I think the one thing that surprised me was the physicality. And that takes a toll on your legs for shooters. You have to be, in pretty good shape to be able to withstand that on defense and then run back out to the 3-point line and shoot. So I think this year I was more prepared. I had a better season statistically, but just not win-wise. So, the most important thing are wins. But, for now, I take the individual statistics. But next year, trying to get to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. So we are in the present of your career, and now let's go to the past, from the really beginnings. Who was your favorite player when you were a kid?
Every kid thinks they're going to be Michael Jordan growing up. So that's why I started playing basketball. My dad actually put the basketball in my hand to try to teach me, and he did teach me a lot about the game. But my hero basketball wise was Michael Jordan, and I used to study his tapes and try to mimic his every moves, dunking on Fisher Price goals, all that type of stuff. And then as you get older and you realize you're not going to be Michael Jordan, right? Then you start being realistic. So I looked up to guys like Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Larry Bird, Rip Hamilton, guys that move without the ball. And that's who I kind of patterned my game after, probably from, 7th grade, I think that's about 13 years old, to the end of high school, where I pretty much knew how my game was gonna be. I just knew I had to get better at certain things.
Mm-hmm. And how do you remember your first time when you met MJ? Of course, I'm not in the court, but he's still close to the league. And how do you remember this first time when you could shake his hand and say hello and make some short conversation?
Well, I never really formally met him, but it was kind of at a distance to where I was having a pretty good game. He's obviously part of the owner for Charlotte. And he was just like, hey, Meeks, where to shoot. And in my mind, I'm kind of like, oh, my goodness, this is MJ. You know what I mean? But I just kept it cool. And I was just like, thanks, I appreciate it. But for somebody that this is why you play the game of basketball, that was pretty cool. For him to, know my name and say that I was shooting really well.
Mm-hmm. And how looked your journey from those very first steps with the basketball to the time when you were in the NBA?
How was the journey?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's up and down. You have tough times, you have good times, you have great times. I always consider myself the underdog. I got the shirt on, it says underdog, but I didn't do that by choice. I just put it on. But I've always considered myself underrated. And so in high school, I wasn't a McDonald's All-American. I wasn't Jordan All-American or anything like that. But I was always, one of the top kids in the country. I think I was the top 30 kid coming out of high school. So when I did get picked for those games, I always had a chip on my shoulder to try to just prove that I belonged. And from high school to college, and then even in the NBA, I went second round. In college, I averaged 25 points per game and went second round. So I feel like that helped me stay in the league longer because I was always trying to prove to people that I belong.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned about the first season in the Kentucky Wildcats, which was really crucial in your career because your average went from 8.8 points per game to 23.7, as you mentioned. You also got the game with the scoring records in the franchise in the Kentucky with 54 points and also got 10 3-point shots. And what does change in this season? Was it a new way in which coach look at you, new people and the players in the roster? What did change when you compare it to the second season?
Just a couple things. One, opportunity. I was coming off the bench my freshman year, and we had a lot of veterans on the team. And so I knew my role was just going to be coming in, giving some energy, knock down shots, play hard defense, hustle, those type of things. So when you're not getting the ball as much, you have to do other things. And I think obviously I was willing to do that, but it helped me learn how to play basketball as well and not just get all the shots. And then going into my last year in school, I had all the opportunity. And so the players were for me, my teammates were looking for me. And so now all you have to do is just let the talent come out. And so that big jump of points per game, it wasn't that I got a lot better. It was just the opportunity. I got better as well, obviously, but it was the opportunity of the coach saying, hey, you're the guy now, so do your thing out there. So it's a good feeling to have when you can score.
You also mentioned that you were surprised when Milwaukee Bucks drafted you in the second round with the 41 pick. And how do you feel with the situation? Because you've got really good, very good season. and in the really good university, that very good university, and suddenly you're in the second round. What was your first thoughts about the situation?
I was really excited to get drafted. It was a lifelong dream. So I can't say that I was disappointed or anything like that. So my family is really excited, but in the back of my mind, I was disappointed, because people were telling me I was going to be a top 20 pick. I felt like looking at the draft, I was drafted 41. There wasn't 40 people better than me in that draft, and especially the season that I had in college. But I took it in stride. I went to summer league and I played really well. I think I averaged 19 my first year in summer league, and so that's what started my chip on my shoulder going into the league. And so that night I was really excited. A little disappointed in the back of my mind, but I was really excited because my dream came true, and I was going to be able to fulfill it.
Mm-hmm. And what did surprise you the most during the rookie season? I guess the one thing was that when you were traded to the Philadelphia 76ers, that you cannot be certain that you will play another day in the same city.
Yeah, I mean, back then it was when you were young, you had to wait your turn, So nowadays, when you're young, they just play you 25, 30 minutes a night, which I wish that was the case 13 years ago. But that was the first time that I had ever sat on the bench, really. I came off the bench my freshman year in college, but I had never been inactive. Inactive is just sitting in a suit watching the game. And so that was a humbling experience for me. So I would get to the game 4 hours early, do my workout, and then know I wasn't going to even dress out. And so I knew that how that felt. And after my rookie year, I never wanted that feeling again. So I worked, 4 or 5 times as hard. So that way, when my time came, I would be prepared to take advantage of my opportunity.
Mm-hmm. So how it was to be in the same team with the Kobe Bryant? As you mentioned, you have to work very hard to be drafted or to be on the other levels in your NBA and basketball career. And I just wonder how it was to be in the team with the person like Kobe, with his Mamba mentality, and how does it influence the other teammates?
Well, back then we didn't know it was Mamba mentality. We just knew it was how he thought, and I just tried to be a sponge around him. At the time, I was only, I think, 23 or 24 years old. So he took me in as kind of his little brother. So we would watch film together. We would get on the court before and after practice. He would, show me different tricks of how to, steal some points, get a steal, get your easy layup or a dunk, get to the free throw line. And then his biggest message was just start in your role. So, I wasn't going to be asked to average 28, 30 points. I was going to be asked to average 10 to 12, but be the best version of yourself. And I think the Mamba mentality now that people talk about is that, being the best version of yourself, whether it's a basketball player, a baseball player, a dentist, a surgeon, just do everything you can in your power to be the best version of yourself. And I think that was his biggest teaching point, especially for me being a young player.
Mm-hmm. And in Lakers, you also got the best scoring season with 15.7 points per game. Was it your best season in your whole NBA career, or the drink at the end of your career with Toronto was something which give you when you compare those seasons, that it was better than this scoring record?
Yeah, I mean, statistically, I think LA was the best one, and that's like similar to college. That was the best opportunity that I had to score the basketball. I could have done that more, but sometimes when you're in the league, they put you in a specific box and want you to star in your role. And I was fine with that because I knew I had to, I know I wanted to last in the league. Some guys get overwhelmed and frustrated and say, I can do more, I can score more, but they know you can score more, but that's not the role they want you to be. And so that particular year, Kobe had just tore his Achilles. And so I started that whole year, which was able to give me that opportunity. But statistically, that was my best year. And then team-wise, obviously, was winning the championship. Some people play their whole career and never win a ring. And so I always wanted to win a ring. And like we talked about Michael Jordan, he had 6 of them. But I can always say I'm undefeated in the championship like him in the finals. But that was a dream come true, just standing on stage on the podium, winning the championship. Personally, I didn't play a lot, but it still was sweet to be able to cherish that moment and know that you're a part of something special.
Mm-hmm. And also during your career, you were at Florida playing for Orlando Magic. And as Magic fan, I, of course, have to ask you about that season. How do you remember that time where it was just after Dwight Howard era, a lot of young players in the roster? How do you remember that time and being the mentor for those young players?
Yeah, we expected to make the playoffs that year. Unfortunately, I had to have my second surgery on my foot, so I was late to get to that season. I think I came back in December, but it was a good season. I love the city of Orlando. I want to get back down there and play some golf soon, So it's a great area to have a team. So at the time, Evan Fournier was young, Elfrid Payton, Aaron Gordon. So it was nice to be able to kind of mentor those guys. Myself, DJ Augustine, and Jeff Green were able to help those guys a little bit. And wish we could have won more. And I definitely enjoyed playing under Frank Vogel. But, we fell a little short.
Mm-hmm. And if you could choose the top 3 moments from your NBA career, what would be on that list?
Top 3 moments? Not in order, but I think I had 42 points versus Oklahoma City. That's one. Starting against the Big Three in Miami with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, my second year. And that was my first year starting. So that was a big, surreal moment for me. It's like, man, I'm in the playoffs. I'm starting. I'm a second-year guy. That, and then 3 is the championship, obviously winning with Toronto. But I don't really have a specific order, but those 3 moments are definitely ideal in my mind. So pretty successful career, which could have been longer, but, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. You're almost 34, and do you still try to come back to the NBA?
Am I going to?
Yeah.
I'm still in shape. I still could play. I know I can still help a team out, but it doesn't look like it's in the cards for that to happen. But if a team call, I'll be ready. I'm still in shape, like I said, and playing the Big Three. I work out all the time. But as you get older, obviously they go for younger players, two-way guys and rookies and guys still in their early to mid-20s. So I understand the business of basketball. And, they would have to pay me a little bit more money than those guys. So, but I still could play, so I always leave that door open until I'm 40, 45, whatever the case may be. But I'm still young enough to play. I still can help a team, but, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. As a really good 3-point shooter, you still got the ability as a Big 3 league show this. And if you can organize your own 3-point contest and could choose the other players from the NBA, from the NBA history, who will attend in this competition, with first position will be you and the other players who would like to invite for this kind of competition.
How many players I get to invite?
Let's say the other 7. So we've got 8 players. One we've got as you and the other 7.
In NBA history?
In NBA history, right.
Yeah, that's a long list. You always want to go against the best. So let's say Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, Steph. That's 4. Clay, 5. Who else? Help me out. 2 more. Who else? I don't even know. 2 more.
6
but the other
6 is also good competition.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I guess Dame Lillard. I don't know, man. I'm thinking about the early 2000s. Peja Stojakovic. There you go.
Okay.
That's right there. But you always want to go against the best. Anybody can get hot at one time, and it's a 3-point shootout. It's not a regular game. So it's different shooting, you know, looking up and coming down, looking up, coming down. So, you know, I would like to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And the last question is about if you can pick all-time Jodie Meeks teammates team. Who would you pick?
Myself, Kobe Bryant, Andre Iguodala. That's 3. Dwight Howard, 4. 5. Let's say Pau Gasol.
Okay, so we've got the 5. Jodie, thank you very much for being with us in the podcast, for attending to this episode. I hope that upcoming Sunday game in the Big 3 League will be on your side, because last game when you scored 29 points, it was really close to Three's company, and there was 52-47. So let's hope that those 2 last games will be really good. And also send greetings for my nation. For person from teammate from Poland.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.